G'day to all my friends and family, and welcome to Jim's 5am Club. It's another awesome day here in Sydney. It started off overcast, it started off drizzling, but the sun has made its way out and it's looking like it's going to be a nice spring day. Anyway, let's go out here on the balcony and take in this awesome, amazing view. For those who are not aware, the International Passenger Terminal here at Circular Quay is open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and you can come down here and get some photos, some selfies. There are a couple of restaurants here as well, and if you just look around, there's absolutely nobody here but me. So take the opportunity to get to know your city and make the most of these public spaces. Anyway, let's go on a bit of a walk and talk. I want to have a chat to you today about a topic that I've got near and dear to my heart. It's a book summary. It's another book from the awesome author Daniel Pink. He's written, I think, 3 books that I've studied and read. And this book here is entitled To Sell is Human. To Sell is Human. So what we'll do is we'll just go through and I'll pick out a couple of messages, a couple of things that I found interesting, and hopefully you may find it interesting as well. But it's all about sharing our knowledge, sharing our learnings, because at the end of the day, we've all got the same challenges. We've all got the same roles and responsibilities in terms of raising our families, being good partners and all those other things. So anything that we can learn, anything that we can use, and basically anything that can empower us to become better versions of ourselves, I think is welcomed and well worth investing in. Anyway, the big point that I picked out of this book here was where he talks about the fact that we're all in a sales role. We're all selling something to somebody. We're all trying to influence each other. We're all trying to call each other to action. But his key point, the point that I absolutely love, was where he distinguishes between irritation and agitation. And for those who are parents, you'll probably understand what I'm about to say, and you may even get an aha moment. So what he's saying is that within a sales cycle, when you're trying to sell something to somebody, you're trying to get them to act, you're trying to motivate them to act. But the difference between irritation and agitation is that irritation is when you're trying to get them to do what you want them to do. Like getting children to do the things that you want them to do, clean their room and all those other sorts of things, as an example. But what Daniel Pink says is that there's another aspect that you may want to consider, and it's called agitation. And agitation is basically getting people to finally do the things that they wanted to do, that they've always wanted to do, but never had the motivation to do it. What he says is that it's virtually impossible, or very, very difficult indeed, to get people to do what you want them to do. That's interesting. The Collaroy's got a head under the bridge. Haven't seen that before. So let's get a video of that. That's something which is interesting and not something which happens all the time. And we'll continue our talk. So it's all about agitating and getting people to do the things that deeply that they want to do. And I guess in sales, it's also called about getting people who are half in the market to go the full way. Getting them to act, getting them to move, as opposed to just being procrastinating and just sitting there and not doing anything. Let me just move down and get out of the wind because it's going to impact audio quality. So a bit of a breeze just picked up now, but the good thing about the breeze, putting a positive spin on it, is it will blow the clouds away. It will either blow the clouds away, or a negative person will say, well, it'll blow more clouds in. Anyway, take your pick in terms of how you want to see your life. So the irritation versus agitation. So our job, the easiest job in the world, is to agitate people to action. The hardest job in the world is to irritate them to do the things that you want them to do. So either you need to convince somebody to do something for themselves that they really want to do anyway, and just to bring it to the fore, or to basically agitate them and remind them that this is what they've always wanted to do, and here are the steps, and to encourage them and cajole them into getting it done. The next point that comes out of the book, which is another great point, and here we have the restaurant Quest, or Key, sorry, not Quest, Key. It's a Key restaurant. This is a lovely little room here where you can just sit in here with your family and friends, and you've got the Opera House and the Harbour Bridge in the palm of your hand. This is where Daniel talks about what sort of personality type makes the best salesperson. And forever and a day, we've always thought that the extrovert would make the best salesperson, the person who is outgoing, who can connect with people, who can talk, and who has the gift of the gab. How many times have we heard people showing off, saying that they've got the gift of the gab? But what Daniel says is that there's no evidence to suggest that somebody who's good at talking is great at selling. He comes up with a notion that he believes that an ambivert, a person who is both introverted and extroverted and can flip-flop and shift between both extremes, is best suited to selling, because sometimes you need to lead, sometimes you need to follow. And when I say follow, I mean listen to your client, listen to your customer, listen to your wife, to your children, and to your work peers, and find out what drives them, what exactly they're looking for, and then to come in and show them potential solutions and help them get over that little decision hump and make a decision and get things done. He talks about, the next thing he talks about is, in order to be a great salesperson, you need to be a person who has flexible optimism. You know, he talks about being cautious of being blindly optimistic and to see everything through pink glasses, but to be flexibly optimistic. So to be optimistic with your eyes open, your mind open, and not to be gullible and to just hope that things get better, but look for opportunities, to look for hooks, to look for ways into a conversation, and to identify opportunities to close a sale or to shift the momentum of a discussion. So great salespeople have the following things in common, he says: that they're able to embrace and accept rejection without taking it personally, without thinking badly about it, or without getting depressed about it. There are many people who I know who basically, you say no to them and they'll just freeze up and not talk and carry on like little bloody kids sometimes. But he said that the best salespeople understand that rejection is temporary. You may have to get 100, 1,000 no's before you get that yes. But that yes will make up for 10,000 no's. So it's well worth your while to persist. He talks about the importance of understanding that rejection is specific to the particular time and place and not universal. How many times I've had people try and sell me things and I just say no, 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 and then all of a sudden they get me at the right place at the right time and I just say the magic yes. Now I've had people call me back and they've called me back at a time which is just appears to be the right time. I listen, they're able to sell the features and the benefits, and I just tick the box and say yes. So never give up on anybody in terms of what you're trying to sell. And he also says that we also need to understand that a rejection is an external thing rather than a personal thing. It's got nothing to do with you. It's just the wrong time, the wrong product, and it's got nothing, absolutely nothing to do with you as a person, and to not take it personally. He comes up with another point which is really, really empowering and powerful, saying that we need to be buoyant. And we see that boat out there, and buoyancy is the key, so that while you think you're struggling, while you think you're swimming against the tide, when you fear that you may drown with all the rejection and the negativity, you need to understand that you need to keep those propellers moving and to know that you're born, you're created to be buoyant, to be able to withstand all the pressure and all the negativity and all the rejection in the world, as long as you understand that it's part of the process, it's part of the game, it's part of the foreplay. You just keep on going until you're able to seduce your client, your partner, whatever or the person who you're trying to convert. So just understand that it's part of a game. It's a game. And the last point that I want to dwell on is another powerful point. He said that great salespeople are people who are able to solve problems. But the greatest salespeople of all are the ones who are able to identify problems with their clients, be able to identify the problem in the first place, a problem that the client didn't even know that they had, and by being the first to identify that problem and then to partner with them to come up with a solution means that you're going to be in the box seat when it comes to winning that business as well as other business in the future. So be a problem solver, but also be tactful and be a problem identifier, knowing what to say, when to say it, and not to be offensive with what you're saying, but to do it with love and to do it with the client's benefit in mind, and they'll get it, they'll see it. If you're telling them that they've got a problem that they weren't aware of, and the costs of not solving that problem immediately, then you'll be their best friend, you'll be their trusted advisor, which is where you want to be as a salesperson. So I think I'll leave it there. Once again, another opportunity to catch up, another opportunity to go for a walk and talk and enjoy each other's company. Thank you very much for trusting in me and allowing me to share Jim's 5 a.m. Club with you. I'm approaching the magic 500 number. I've done 61 in Greek. I've done another vlog, which is my spiritual orthodoxy, and I've done 440, 43, 44. So I've got another half a dozen to do, maybe 4 or 5 to do, and I'll reach my 500 mark. And I'll probably get to do that today or tomorrow because I knock out, on average, about 4 vlogs a day. I've set myself a big target because I've got 1,000 to do in English and 1,001 to do in Greek. And I just know that I'm running against the clock, against time, and I don't want time to conquer me, and I want to be able to knock out and achieve this goal while I've still got health, while I've still got energy, I've still got momentum, and I've still got my mental capabilities. So let's finish up with a positive affirmation. I'm alive, I'm well, and I feel absolutely great. To my friends and family, stay connected, stay relevant, and most importantly, let's become the best salespeople we can become, and be able to identify problems and solutions for our friends and family and people around us that we love and care for. And also remember to be able to be uplifting with your advice, and to agitate your children, your family, and your loved ones around you. Agitate them to take action, to be able to do the things that they want to do, as opposed to being a pain in the ass and an irritant, a person who irritates them to do the things that they don't want to do and they'll never want to do. There's a big difference. So the people who understand the difference are the ones who are going to have the biggest impact on those around them. Take care, everybody. Slagapao. I love you. Yasas. And bye from Jim, from Jim's 5am Club.